our mid-year concert. Over the weekend, our community was struck with the devastating news of the tragic loss of junior Blake Gordon. In memory of Blake, I ask that at this time, if you join the Fairbanks musicians, Mr. Alborn, and myself, in a moment of silence. Thank you. And at this time, I will turn it over to Mr. Alborn.
Hi everybody, thank you all for being here. So, we are excited to show off what our 6th graders have been working on this year. They've been progressing through their book so far, and we've got a couple tunes from the book to show you, as well as, to be honest with you, a rather complicated piece of music that's a little bit jazzy and a little bit hip-hop, and I think they've really enjoyed working on this concert program. So, we're excited to show you what we've been working on in our second to last concert of the year for 6th grade, which is kind of crazy. We're already this far into the year. So, to start off, here is one tune that you may all know. It's Kumbaya.
Is another familiar tune. This is a little variation on the Saints Go Marching In. It's called The Saints Go Marching Again. This last piece of music is a little bit different. So this is really truly their first big hefty piece of sheet music that they've gotten. It's over 60 measures long, and the really cool thing about this piece is it features each section just a little bit. So our percussionists are already standing, but the rest of the band, whenever they have a little feature, they're gonna stand. And this song is based off of a blues scale, and it's pretty common in jazz music after a group has a solo, if the audience would like to applaud just a little bit. So you're welcome to, after you see a little solo, if you like what you hear, just give a quick little bit of applause in the middle of the piece. That is totally fine. So, without further ado, here is Speak Up.
sixth graders. For those of you who were here last May, it's crazy to see the progress between them as fifth graders and sixth graders. And speaking of, our fifth graders will be making another appearance back in our May concert again, so you want to see where it all starts. Fifth grade is back in May. To start off our 7th and 8th grade concert, Kennedy Nurk, my peer collaborator for 7th and 8th grade, will be conducting a piece again. And Kennedy's going to hate that I'm going to sing this right now, but can we give her a round of applause because she was just accepted into Bowling Green State University. Basically been in my room like 2 or 3 periods a day just practicing for that audition. So lots of hard work has paid off. There's another audition coming up at Capital University here in a couple weeks. So good luck to Kennedy there. Here is Storm Surge. Our next piece is a little bit of a change of pace from this. So it is by a local composer by the name of James Swearingen. If you are not familiar with that name, he was the director of bands at Grove City High School for a very long time, and then was actually director of bands at Capital University and a composer in residence there for a number of years as well. He currently is still in the area, plays and leads a community band in the area, but he wrote this piece for one of the Penguin high schools over on the other side of the city, and this piece is called As Seasons Change. So anybody who's been in 7th and 8th grade band with me knows that I really like to find a time during the year to push them. And this last piece is that push piece. So this piece is called Sun Chaser, and it's a really, really lovely piece. It also happens to be a piece that's on the high school list. And so I really wanted to push them a little bit here, and it's taken a lot of work, but they handled it pretty well. So here's our final piece of the evening with 7th and 8th grade band. This is Carol Britton Chambers' Sun Chaser.
piece, I want to take a minute to kind of explain a little bit. So the Open Road is from a collection from The Leaves of Grass. And what I find very interesting is over Walt Whitman's time of writing poetry and whatnot, he published this, the first edition of Leaves of Grass was published in 1855. And even though he published it one time, he kept going back and revising and editing and adding more to this piece, this work, and this collection. So I think it's telling that just because you have published something and it's like you're never done, and he kept adding and adding it until his death. But one thing I do want to tell you about this is this piece, they learned it all on their own. I didn't sit there and give them the rhythms. I didn't sit there and plug out their melody on the piano. A big kudos goes to my section leaders for walking them through the learning process of choral music and how that whole process is. So they learned how to apply the rhythm, the melodic line, how to add the text to it, and how the rhythm fits, how the melody fits, reading solfege, reading the rhythm syllables. So I came in and kind of like, we put the finishing, polishing touches on, but they did a lot of the work of this piece on their own, and I think it hopefully paid off in the end, and I think they did a great job. And again, my section leaders, thank them because they did a lot of the work in their sectionals and helping the underclassmen get to where they need to be. So here is Open Road. So my goal for this art repertoire, even though we only prepared, sorry, that word just escaped me. Even though we only prepared 2 pieces, we really went back to basics and fundamentals. That whole piece was all about the pure Italian vowels and how to place their tone and how to sing in the proper head space, in the proper vowel space. And then our next one as well, singing in Latin, was even more of that goal as well. but I'm super proud of them and that they were able to, you know, work diligently and so forth. So our last piece for you, Jubilat Te Deo, it quotes Psalm 100, and that verse is, "Make joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. For the Lord is good, his mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth in all generations." Jubilat Te Deo. addition. So in our roster, we are missing 2 member names. They joined us second semester, so Abby, wave on your way out. Abby Gleason should be in an alto, and Abby Scadell is a soprano. They did not make our program. We just cut and pasted from winter, and so they are part of our ensemble.
While the high schoolers transition, I'm going to turn it over really quickly to our Music Booster president, Lori Reedman, to talk about our upcoming fundraiser. So high schoolers, as you get situated, wait just a second to warm up while Lori speaks.
Good evening. I just wanted to share with you a little bit. We are going to try a new fundraiser this year. For those of you that have volunteered some time in a concession stand for Music Boosters, you know, or for athletic boosters, you know that that gets very tiresome. And so we are hoping to find some other ways to raise funds so that we don't have to do so many concession stands. And then open that opportunity up to other organizations on campus. So we're going to try this year a beef and noodles dinner fundraiser. It's in your program, and it will be the night of the May 1st concert. Cost to attend that dinner is $10. You can purchase your ticket online by using the QR code there on the bottom. Please feel free to share with your family and friends. As you look at that page, you're going to see that we're actually going to start with food at 5 p.m. So as you come and bring your children for the concert, you can have dinner while you're waiting on them and their warm-up process. Or you can come at 5 and feed them too. And then we also will have a carry-out option. So if you know individuals who might be interested in being able to take dinner home with them that evening, they can actually just drive up and we'll have it ready to go. And those have to be pre-ordered, but you can purchase dinner for dine-in at the door for $13 because we'd really like to get a head count. So we're going to motivate you to buy early. We really appreciate any support. You're also going to get some emails coming from Music Boosters asking you to sign up to maybe donate, bring in a dessert. The rest of the food is going to either be purchased for us to make and or Burns Beef has actually generously donated the beef for this event. So we'll be able to get some donations from some other businesses as we go. If you're listening to this and thinking, wow, that sounds like a cool event and I'd really like to help, right now we are a 3-man crew. It's myself, Tracy Burton, and Laura Briggs. And if you would like to join us, we would really appreciate it. So it's not a lot of work, but many hands make for light work. So if you're interested in helping us out, you can just email fairbanksmusicboosters@gmail.org, so it's really easy to remember. In addition, we're looking for corporate sponsors, so if you have somebody that you think might be interested in that, we'd love to get you a corporate sponsor form. And so please, again, email fairbanksmusicboosters.org, or just be looking for that in your email and in your inbox. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to warm up here in just a second, but just a little bit about what we've got coming up here in the high school side. In the back of your program, you will notice, and the high school parents have hopefully gotten my emails about this, but this is essentially their preview concert for their OMEA contest performance coming up next Friday, March 15th. So they will be playing at Thomas Worthington High School on their stage at 9 p.m. There will be a panel of judges listening to them, they'll get feedback from them, and we'll get to take that feedback and hopefully grow from it. So, that is what we've got coming up, so they get to play this concert for you twice, actually. So, we're going to get started here in just a minute. I'm going to let them warm up a little tune here, and then the first piece we're going to have is a piece called Amparita Roca. It is a traditional Spanish march.
second piece is one that some of you may be familiar with. It is called Elsa's Procession to the Cathedral. It has shown up in movies, mostly because it was originally from an opera by Wagner. And so this piece is kind of a staple in the concert band and even the marching band world, just a little bit as a lyrical, beautiful piece. And it is probably the hardest thing that we have on our program, just because it is really hard to make sound good. And these kids have done a really, really nice job with it so far. So, excited to show you what they've been working on, and hopefully even in a week and a half you get even better. So, here is Elsa's Procession to the Cathedral. All right, for our final selection, we have a little piece called Blue Ridge Reel, and it's really fun because we get to actually incorporate some traditional Appalachian instruments into it. So we've got some spoons. We've got multiple people playing spoons, actually. And but we don't have a washboard right now, we have a guiro. And so that's substituting for our washboard for today. So this is really just fun, upbeat piece, and I think I really like it, and I think they do too. So, for our final selection this evening, this is Blue Ridge Reel. Thank you again for coming out this evening. Just a reminder, you do not have to do anything with these red chairs that are out there. Leave them out, our wonderful custodial team will help take care of them. However, if you would like to help tear down some of our chairs and stands, we would love and appreciate your help alongside the concussions. So, hey, thank you again for a wonderful concert cycle. Thank you again for being here. If you're able to, we would love to see you out at Thomas Worthington High School to support our high school musicians. Otherwise, we will see you on May 1st. So, thank you again for another wonderful concert.